Oh, we are live. Hey, I thought we were gonna have the countdown. It just jumped on live that fast. Hmm. All right, I guess I forgot to hit the countdown. Well, welcome. Hello. We're still waiting on Michael. Michael's gonna be joining us. Thanks for being here tonight, you guys. And Sherry's gonna pop on real quick and say hello there with her avatar. She is camping and out in Mother Nature. She sent some really beautiful pictures, but I wasn't able to get them up to give you a little slideshow. So Sherry's saying hello to everybody. Surprise. All right. Sarah, I know you're on mute because you got things in the background, but I wanted to just say we're going to be talking a little bit today about a couple of things, but the title of this and everything is about the digital overlay and having a discussion about it because last week, if you guys didn't see last week's roundtable, oh my God. I mean, we were talking about the metaverse, the omniverse, the quantum verse, as I call it. It's really, the digital worlds, the digital universes. And Sarah and I are going to start this discussion off. And when Michael comes in, he's the one that knows all about crypto. You guys know Michael. And we're going to be talking a little bit about the overlays because there's some things that have happened. Sarah, do you remember when I was telling you about when I was away for the weekend and I got an internal ding that they could actually see the energy, the sacred geometry energy around my field and everything? Well, I was doing a little bit of research this week on buying property in the digital world because I think that's definitely going to be a great investment. And, I wanted to find out how you do it. And I wanted to share this with the viewers and see if it could be simplified. And I actually found an app that is, I'm not going to tell you the name of the app though, because I did talk to the developer too, and they want me to wait till the 9th because they're going live on the 9th. But it's an open beta. It's a first, let me see, it's the first and only patented augmented reality social app. And so I started digging around a little bit in it because it seemed very promising. And it is very similar to, like, say, a Facebook or an Instagram in some ways, like on your phone. So it's the interaction with making posts and liking and that kind of thing. And you get for your based on your social interaction. So just like if you were going to post on Instagram or you were going to, get in those algorithms, you get these tokens based on your interactions. And with these tokens, you can claim your digital piece of land. And your digital piece of land might start off in a 30-foot diameter, say. And then from there, the more interaction you have, the further out it expands. So you may have a 40-foot one, the next level, then it might be 50 feet. And you can go on the map and it looks like a Google map. It's really cool. And I was like, okay, how do we do this? How does it expand? And they actually responded to me by email. I was just giving feedback. Do you know what I mean? But I got so sucked into that today. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get property in Hawaii. I'm gonna get property over here. And I did. I managed to get 2 pieces of digital land based on just setting up a profile and doing a little bit of, a couple posts and a little bit of interaction. It was pretty interesting. So now this is just one. I wanted to talk to Michael. I hope he comes on soon about this because this is just one of the digital universes. And it's through a social media app. So you could literally take your phone and hold it up. Whoops, I got a little feedback there. Hold on. So you could literally take your phone and you can take it somewhere and you can see the overlay of where people took pictures and where they were. And you can see tags above their head if they're in the app. So if you're using the app, I'm using the app, and I come in and I'm, around you somewhere, you could see those tags above. Remember when I was telling you that? I just my higher self was telling me, like, they could see above your head. They can see little things above your head and little icons. Well, here's the app now. Like, just in the last week, I'm like, oh my God. So this is literally already here. Thank you guys for watching live. I appreciate you being here. Betty, how you doing? So we are having a great evening so far. Glad to see you on here. It looks like Michael's trying to join us and his device is having some trouble. I'm seeing, Michael, if you can hear me, I'm seeing devices are not connected. It says you'll need to connect your mic and your cam. All right, so if you can hear that, we're trying to get Michael on too. He knows a lot about these digital worlds. Sarah, have you had any experience with, I know you've done a lot of cryptocurrencies and things and whatnot, but have you had any experience with actual buying of digital land?
No, not yet. I'm I'm seasoned in cryptos. I am more towards the gaming. Right now I've been towards that aspect, but
Oh,
I definitely I grew up with gaming. You know,
I gotta
I
ask you about
started
that.
with Atari, Nintendo, Wii,
Activision,
the 64. I've had them all.
Activision's
So,
going to be pretty big in this apparently.
right.
All right, so in gaming, you have an avatar that runs around and does stuff, right?
Mhm.
So if your avatar is going to like run around and say, I don't know, pick a city right now. Name a city off the top of your head, a big city.
Um, I'm from Kansas, so let's do Kansas City.
Perfect. So in Kansas City, there's got to be like nightclubs and coffee shops and places to gather. Is there
Mhm.
theaters and things like that? So if there's a digital overlay, we got Michael too.
Hey,
Perfect. Good job, Mike.
Yay!
Yay.
it was giving me errors and weird.
I know. I was seeing it was like saying something about your mic and everything. I'm glad
Yeah.
you made it. We're just to get you caught up real quick. We're just talking about the digital overlays. Like Sarah picked Kansas City, and we're
Mm.
using that as an example for a digital overlay. So if you have, say, there's a Starbucks on like First and Second Street at the corner there, there's a Starbucks. If Starbucks decides in a particular metaverse, let's say it's, I don't know if Facebook's going to do it this way because I think they're buying all the property, but in a particular metaverse that might be open,
Mhm.
you can buy that digital property there. And Starbucks might not beat you to it. You might be able to get the rights to the property where Starbucks is located in the digital
Right.
world. And see, so what this app, this phone, it's launching on the 9th, this other app I was telling you about, and I can't tell you the name yet. I promised them I wouldn't. But in this particular app, you have the digital rights there, but what they're going to do is bring in advertisers. So say that Starbucks is located at First and Second, but like all around in that area, they're going to have like concerts and different things. And like as playing a game, you might be like, oh, what's going on here? You might take your avatar over there and be like, oh, what do they got in the, what do you want to put there? Like you
Mhm.
might want to put your crystal shop there, So if you're selling crystals and somebody comes into your digital store, and Michael, you were telling me this last week, you were mentioning this in our
Right.
discussion. If they want to buy those digitals, then you'll get crypto for that, maybe,
Mhm.
I think. But also they could buy it in the physical and then you can sell your crystals in the physical as well. So it can trickle all the way down into this reality. Is that right?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
It's almost like playing Pokemon. That was one of the big raises you go to certain spots throughout your mapping area, you can get, benefits or coins or Pokies
You
or
get
Pokemon.
yeah, catch them all, right? Yeah.
So,
I could
but then
see it on
again,
my phone.
there's
I didn't need the head glasses. I didn't need like anything to like connect my mind to any kind of digital system. So if you guys are hearing that, there's a big push right now. If you Google anything about metaverse, omniverse, digital worlds, buying digital real estate, NFTs, like if you start Googling any of that stuff or DuckDuckGo it, DuckDuckGo for real, because like you'll see everywhere, just like in the last hour, there's going to be all these blog posts and news posts and all kinds of things because there's a lot of companies like really, 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 really having that FOMO. Is that the yeah,
Right.
and they really are rushing to get in and stuff. So there's, I guess, this week there's going to be an explosion with things right now.
Yeah, it's just,
So
it's the craze of NFTs. It's why it's happening. Why would somebody pay for this digital?
oh
oh,
no.
right.
Michael, he's like, no, we got cut out. Well, hey, Willow, thanks for joining us. Here she is. Whoop, whoop. Oh, I forgot I could do this. Willow's
Oh,
saying woohoo. Now, Willow's not saying woohoo because you got cut out, Michael. I
Just
promise. I
right
was.
in the middle of me talking. It didn't even say error. It was just said something went wrong. I'm like, no, everything's fine. Um, yeah, I don't know where it cut off, but just like why important, I would say, right? Why is digital property important? And now it's like we're gonna realize one day it's extremely important because while people are going to be sitting at home not producing in the real world, if they produce online and then it translates into income for the family, well then the economy will be fine, or whatever. It'll just change, but it's definitely going digital. And then the ownership, once you own it, it's this way you have proof yourself. You don't need to keep the record at a bank and a thing. It's all digital
On
online. You
blockchain.
own it. So then
Yes.
all you got to do is link to it. And then, and a lot of this stuff like Unstoppable Domains is where you can get websites, your own website, and you purchase it one time, and that's it. And you never have to renew your fees or anything because now you own it. It's on the blockchain. It's yours until you sell it.
Unstoppable. What is
Domains.
And now, is that for just for digital, or is that for digital and physical?
It's just a website. It's just domains. It's just like any other website. Instead of going to GoDaddy, you go to Unstoppable Domains. And you link it with your blockchain wallet. So it's yours. Right. No one else will have, unless you lose your private keys in any case.
So nobody could use your domain name in the digital world. Okay,
so at all.
There's going to be this is going to get crazy.
Takes care of copyright and takes care of a lot of things. Yeah, that's why these companies want, that's why when I'm not kidding when I say your toaster is going to have a value in an NFT, it's going to be NFT. It's coming,
It's already here.
Yeah, when I think it all the way through, it's like it's still being built. So I mean, it's wild still. Yeah, you can get caught up.
See, and I was telling Sarah, I kind of got sucked into it a little bit, and in trying to prepare for this, because last week's discussion was so enlightening, and it was so like, okay, there's so much work that we all do, right? We know we do a lot of work. It's not really translating to my bank account, and this month especially, it hits extra hard. So I'm thinking too, what can I do that I can build, even if it's not in this layer, this reality, if it isn't a digital layer, but it translates down to this physical layer, then, somehow the floodgates need to open, because I do produce a lot of content, a lot of work. And I put stuff, out there. I put my love and my heart and my codes into it. So it should be translating, and it's not. So I'm thinking, because there's an imbalance there, that maybe there is something that ties blockchain, which is more multidimensional digital reality, but it kind of marries the multidimensional reality where we're doing our work.
Right. Yeah.
So we're going to cash in our spiritual cryptos, our spiritual abundance somehow with that. It has to marry together somehow.
Yeah, and as the technology advances, we'll be able to do that physically, because we'll all have apps. Yeah. They're already making them now, apps that'll create apps so that any normal person can create the kind of app that they want and then publish it themselves. So for content creators and people who are doing stuff like this, we'll have our own app. It'll be Holy Bird Tribe or Lynda Light, whatever you want to call it, and you'll have everything you do on it. And then it's going to be shareable. So kind of like you were saying, you'll get ads or whatever for this and this. With the shareable economy, we'll all be able to just share it to you. So if somebody I knew wanted to sign up for, your courses like you and Sherry are doing, I could send them my link, because I would have your app. And then if anytime they purchase through that link, I get some, you get some. So it's coming. It's like, it's not pyramid scheme, but it's actually, you're getting paid for what you're actually doing. And when people buy it, it's not going to sales tax and the banks and this, it's going to you and the other people who actually promoted your stuff. So it's really opening this up. And that's why I think they want to put the kibosh and they want to trash it. And they're like, no. But for the people, this is going to be great.
It's huge. Go ahead, Sarah.
Well, I was just going to say, they've already got stuff out there like the Brave, what is it, Brave?
The browser, yeah.
It's a browser. So whenever you're on there, you get paid in cryptos for the time that you watch their advertisements. You get paid to watch them.
Yeah, they're just little pop-ups. It's like real tiny, and it's watch everything on it instead of using your YouTube app. Watch YouTube, just copy it and post it into the Brave browser, and then ads will play during the video, and you get rewarded.
And there's
so if you're watching, wait, if you're watching YouTube through the Brave browser, and an ad comes on there, you don't have to do anything. It just gives you.
It's time on the browser, so you get so you'll get ads. It's how many ads per hour, and I think the max is 10. So there's little tiny pop-ups that just pop up on the bottom right. And you don't even have to click the X, like you won't even notice them, and then on your phone and mobile, it's just like a notification, swipe it off on, so
And then like Theta TVs like that too, right?
Yeah, Brave is the browser, and
Brave is the
Theta's
browser?
got this streaming platform going for it. So,
Okay.
yeah, you can stream with Theta what is it called? Edgecast or Edge? I forget what it's called now, actually. Off the top of my head.
But Michael, tell them about, what is it? Sweatcoin? No.
Oh yeah, there's Sweatcoin too. Yeah, that's like just an app where, so I walk around a lot, for in stores. And so it's a Sweatcoin, and you just earn just by leaving it on while you're walking around.
While you're sweating.
Got it.
Yes,
It works.
there's literally everything out there that we get to start monetizing.
So wait, you don't have to put like one of those suits on
No.
that monitors. I know you, but you can do that too, right? That's also an option.
Right.
So funny.
It depends. I might get more steps in, or yeah. And it's nice. I mean, I don't think with Sweatcoin you can't like exchange it for dollars, but like I know that they give like 4-day, 5-day, 4-night trips to places if you got like a ton of them, So yeah, there's still things you can.
All right. Let me ask you this, because I want to make sure I got this right too, because we know there's layers and layers and layers and layers. And then, we talk about the metaverse versus the omniverse. So digital overlays, there's whatever type of blockchain, say you want to pick Ethereum, and just to keep it simple, you pick Ethereum as your blockchain. It could be Tron, could be something else, you have that. There's a universe in there. And we could all have our own universes, basically. So there could be infinity amount layered and layered and layered and overlayered on top of people. But the bridge is going to probably go between like the main ones. And then the other ones will just fall off naturally because people won't go there. So if everybody's going to run to the metaverse because that's where Facebook is, it's still under the Omniverse hub. Is the Omniverse the one that's making this like 3D, the internet turning it into like a 3D printer and making it a 3D digital overlay of holographic? So one holographic universe, like, all right, so I'm here right now. Yeah. Let's say I have AR glasses on, which is, most people can understand the leap for this part, but we know it goes beyond this. Say I have my AR augmented reality glasses on, and I put them on just like a free guy, right? And I'm putting on my glasses, and I can see, let's just say I'm sitting in a Starbucks, and I can see like people's heads, tags above their heads, or I can see like, on the coffee table, like a chocolate bar. Somebody took a picture of a chocolate bar that was sitting there before. So, okay, that's cool. That chocolate bar is there in this like augmented reality. Is it going to be like immersive the way Zuckerberg was showing on his keynote? Do you know what I mean? Interactive type of thing, like where I'm like feeling like I'm in the avatar body? Or is it just something where I hold up my phone and like this app that I was working on today and seeing that I can see somebody took a picture right there of something. Okay, that's cool. It's a picture. Now, if I tap on it, I can go to their profile. I can see who else is interacting in this particular universe, right?
Yeah.
And then it gets more when they start bridging it for items like, okay, I'm interacting. I'm looking at my phone and I say, okay, there's the Starbucks on the corner, but on my app, I'm seeing that this property is owned by Sarah's Crystal Store. So I'm going to go into Sarah's Crystal Store while I'm actually going into Starbucks in physical reality. Is that kind of like what it's like? And you're going in there and you're like, you notice that I could see it getting really busy.
Yeah, you're on the right track, but yeah, it'll probably not end up being that off, or like wrong stores or something like that.
They all have to come together somehow. Like otherwise your brain is going to have overload.
What would really happen would be if I bought it first, Starbucks would be blowing me up, asking me how much you want.
Yeah.
And I would be like, lots of zeros, yo.
Exactly. That's a good point. Because there's a game now where it's called Upland, and it's buying virtual property, but it's maps of the real world. So they have like San Francisco and Fresno.
I saw the maps.
So you can buy the actual house. And if you click in the game Street View, you'll see somebody's house that you just bought on a virtual thing, because it's got the Google Maps for it.
I saw them. Actually, I don't know if you heard earlier when you were trying to get on, but I was telling Sarah I was playing with this app. It's actually, I found out that it is in beta, and I messaged the developer just with a couple things, and he wrote back right away too. And he asked me not to mention the name like till the 9th. But I did get 2 pieces of parcel there already. So I got one where I thought would be really cool on a beach, in Atlantic City, right next to Pelly's Beach Bar. I'm like, well, people go there. So, as it expands, like that'll be my, maybe Bally's will want to buy it for me. And then the other one I got out in Hawaii because that's where I want to go. So I
Yeah.
just thought that would be a cool place. So is that kind of the idea, is
Right.
if you buy it in a digital world, if that world, I'll say that reality happens to become a popular one with the gaming world or through Facebook, or maybe not through, but if it becomes popular, are we sharing the digital rights in just one world, or are you buying digital rights in many, 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 many worlds, and the ones that make it are the ones that are the most popular?
Right. So when you buy the properties, it's all going to depend on what universe they're going to be added to. So not every metaverse is going to, or not every coin is going to be its own world. We're only
Okay.
going to want to go to the worlds that are fun. And if
Right.
some of those worlds you don't own it, so let's say you buy you're only going to be on your world every time you go. You're not going to be going to someone else's world. So that's why it has to be digital property rights. There's integrating it into the physical, that's going to come down to a lot of other things. But, until all that gets worked out, I mean, what it's going to be is just us purchasing it in the digital realm. And then so the game is Upland that I was talking about, where
Yeah.
you buy so once they decide to hop on like a metaverse, now all of those people, it'll be the Upland verse. And now
Right.
everyone who owns something in Upland will now be able to go into their virtual home. And it's going to be you're going to hit Street View, you're going to see some other guy's house, but it is all virtual. So yes, as you're saying it, that's how it's going to be implemented, because you're buying it, but we'll see in the future what companies are going to create what. And if they all model it, we're all going to be layers. We're all going to be able to buy that same single piece of property. But in order to visit it, you're going to have to go to World Lynda or World Sarah in order to see that actual one. So yeah, it's not good, because there's no way, if it's a we only have one Earth, so that it's not all going to connect like that, but it's going to be interoperable and sellable between, and then you can hop on Sarah's world and say, hey, I want your place because that's my place in this world. And then now you want to take over all the metaverses. So now you're going to be the one in all of them that everyone will see, like maybe Facebook wants to do or whatever, the one hub, so
it's been interesting. I've been doing a lot of research this week too, but like Garden Telepathy saying, accept it, no, and no VR headsets.
They'll make them easy. They would want to have to wear clunky headsets. They know
they're
that
already working on the glasses, right? Apple glasses, they're working on one. I'm sure it's just like the movie Free Guy. Like
they had the Google one. They've had them for a while. I know you can check your emails or something like that. I saw that
there was one in 2017 when I first started getting into crypto. There was a company called Lucid, LUYCD or something like that, and they make something now that they're they're like Bluetooth glasses, but they had a video and it's now scrubbed. They must have been bought out. I'm sure that beta model was bought out for sure. But when you put the glasses in, like depending on where your eyes went for your focus, you would open that app. So if you stared at something, or I guess made it more I don't know how your eyes would poke at it, but if you stared at it long enough, and it's like, say, your email thing, it would open up your email app, but it's overlaid in the glasses. Nobody would know what you're doing. It's like and you could hear and see. The model looked amazing. I was like, look at that. That's like really cool. But the thing is, like anything else, you have to be able to put it down when you want to and detox when you need to. So I know we've talked about this a lot. You guys have heard me on my high horse quite a bit about being organic versus being needing technology or transhumanism or anything like that. If it's something where, like, look, people are addicted to anything, right? People are addicted to playing games. People are addicted to gambling. Whatever the self-control thing is, that self-control mechanism belongs with us and only us personally. We have to regulate our own behavior. Just like in cryptocurrencies and stuff, we don't want the banks handling our money. We want to be able to handle our own. So we have to be educated about what it is. And it's the same thing with this digital world. Like I got lost today. I didn't regulate myself too good today because I was like jumping in jumping all the way down that rabbit hole. I'm like,
It's
I want to
supposed to
learn
be
more.
fun.
It
Yeah.
was fun.
You
It
know,
really was.
even the beings who have all the advanced, technology, they still use these things. They just don't, get wrapped up in them,
Well, what's
they still have
heartbreaking about it
holographic
though is that
technology.
all the giants, Michael, and they like Facebook, if they're dumping all this money into it and they own all the land up there too, it's like, come on, really? Like it feels like we're getting buried, but there are little opportunities. So hopefully these holes that are getting poked in it will allow for a flood for
Right.
anybody that wants to get in, not to be like not able to buy their own house in the digital world. If they want to have that property and make it private, you don't have to buy it. That's the thing. On the social app, if you open up and you create a profile for yourself with just a couple basic things without even getting a picture, you get a token. And every token gives you the right to peg a 30-foot diameter spot that just grows if you stay on that channel. So if you're interacting on Facebook a lot or Instagram a lot, like if you're interacting on this place a lot, your space will grow and grow and grow. So I think that's cool. You don't actually have to pay for it. But then I started searching some of these companies that want a lot of money for digital property, So how do you know which if you're not
Right.
paying for it versus you're paying for it, it kind of like, well, what about, am I still going to own this property here? Like what kind of how is this going to bridge with the other worlds? I'm so confused about it.
Yeah, I know it's literally just playing. It's like playing Farmville. You wanna grow your crops and whatever in your virtual world too, and
Yeah.
it's going to be or Sims, or the Sims.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah.
living two different lives. Where your avatars. I'm a female in the game, or and nobody even knows. So yeah, it's just
Okay.
gonna.
That's a great example. All right. So if the metaverse is like Farmville and I don't know, pick what's that other world?
Farmverse.
Farmers.
Right.
Animalville. No, but like if you have two different worlds that you would think don't interact because they're two separate games, is this not going to be something where something like XRP or something like that will be the bridge that will accept tokens cross-platform?
That's what right. So that's what Lightning Labs has been working on, MasterCard and Litecoin. Yeah, with atomic swaps. Eventually, it's all just going to be swappable. So it's not just going to be one coin or another. You're going to be able to use any coin that you want.
That's
That's
the
why
key missing.
That's why they're working at the interoperability. Yeah, and they've been doing it for years. Yeah, and
So it's not like some are just going to get left in the dust. It's if they're on the ERC if they're on a blockchain that's compatible, then there won't be any problem, right?
yeah, it'll just go like it's like simple swap for
Yeah.
those who we know. Where so for cryptos, for those who don't know, if you need to send you want some Litecoin and you have Bitcoin, and you'll send your Bitcoin to the contract, the smart contract, and then once you send it, it'll execute and it'll send you your Litecoin. So it doesn't matter what chain, Bitcoin or Ethereum. If you wanted Ethereum, it'll go through the chains itself. Yeah, eventually, and so you'll just click and it'll all happen in the background. And that's why this is such an important time, because like you said about actually owning these networks and controlling, there's not going to be a chance to do it again, except for right now, to actually get in to own a lot of this stuff, because they're buying it all up left and right. And once it's all bought, the only thing, people, it'll still be available, but most people are just going to have to get the basic or, work really hard in order to get everything. But now, you'll be able to run the networks if you get in, stuff like that, where, once the networks are up and running and they're worth billions or trillions, you're not going to probably be able to own much of the network. But, eventually the idea of ownership, you'll have the house. And as long as there's things happening in the virtual world on your property, it'll cause transactions. And so you'll get paid off of those things. So eventually we'll all be able to just get paid off of our digital properties, whatever that happens to be, what kind of digital properties. But it's just going to matter how much, I guess, really. They're still going to kind of take off with the top and maybe leave some down low, but it's gonna change the way we maybe live life, or look at living life, or making money, or
making money, I think, because I don't want to, I don't want to be. I don't know. I don't know what I want as far as the digital world goes because I want to experience the creation of this as it's manifested in 3D reality. I want to be able to be a part of it from, building it up. Just because I like creating things and it's fun, but I don't want to be swept into it where all my time is like to the point where my eyeballs are sore because I've been looking at a
Yeah.
screen too long or something. So if it's something where, and this is where it could go really wrong when we talked about the slippery slope, because suppose somebody doesn't want that. They don't want to wear the glasses. They don't want to have be looking at like this all day, at their app or their phone or something. So they're going to try to make it where, oh, you can connect to the digital world, by what's that property? There's that element that I'm not gonna say it. You know what I mean? So something can be injected into your body so that you can, explore
Yeah.
and be a part of, if you want to, the digital world, but then that's still something that's in your body. So,
Yeah.
uh,
I just
this,
think it's how advanced beings they can create like entire jungles on their ships. So if
yeah,
it's just holographic, even for them being
yeah,
on ships, how organic are they really being? What are we talking about here? So I think it's more of not going into some speculative, crazy
yeah,
metaverse world, and it's not really going to be that bad, but it's
right,
going to depend on what you want. It's just like life now. You
yeah,
can spend all your time in front of a computer screen. You're not on the metaverse, but there's plenty of computer people out there that would rather not interact with human beings and spend all their time in the virtual world anyways. So
right.
it's, is it going to be worse or better? It's just going to be more of the same thing that we've always been doing anyways. And it's still going to be, because the rules are the same, go outside, turn it off, go outside, we're still going to have to do the same things as before.
And it could be really cool too for a little while. Like it could be something like me. It's new and it's exciting and it's something different. And we've always known that the holographic stuff is coming. But I mean,
Who's to say this isn't
the
holographic already?
well, right.
So, are
Right.
we organic or
Exactly.
are we even
Yeah.
organic? No, I'm just
Okay. Well,
perspective.
we could go down that rabbit hole if you
Yeah,
want.
yeah,
So, yeah, like how much of the matrix are we already? So
right.
that's the thing, is you're getting some of the programming, I think, that comes in from the fear of all of this. They take the fear of people that have like me, for example. I have very strong views about not being transhuman. Okay. I want to keep my DNA the way it is.
Yeah,
I have very strong feelings about that. So they'll take those feelings, and because I'm able to critically think about things, I can, look at each side of it. But they'll take fears like that and they'll spread propaganda out there about, oh, you know what I mean? Like when you're reading stuff, you're like this very, very anti metaverse people. And I think it's because of the corporate ownership and because of the jailers and because of the controllers and what they've done, manipulations through the bank, private Western civil, bankers and all that. So, you have this fear that they're preying on so that people won't go and stake their claim. But when you're looking at property and you're looking at buying digital property, Michael, have you found that it costs a lot, or have you not gone down that hole yet? Or what
I
have you found?
found that it costs enough that I don't really care to do it. I think the best way to do it is, I mean, it depends what you're playing. Like if you go into, they have a Decentraland, which is Mana. They have the Sandbox, which is kind of like the Minecraft. So,
Right.
right now, those are going to be more expensive than some of these. Maybe there's a space game out there where you're going to be able to buy planets, things
Ah,
like
yeah.
this. And so when they become more popular, so it's not that expensive, but I know that there is, if you get into the reality, like in that one video, right, he said where people, you actually have to like pay your monthly rent, and if you don't, they can like lock you out of your digital property or
Which would
something like
be
that.
like a subscription, right?
Right.
So, okay, and I get that whole concept too, but like for example, that app that I was in today,
Mhm.
I really wish I could name it because then we could really talk about it. But next
It'll
week
come.
we'll be able to.
It'll come. Yeah.
Next week we'll be allowed. But in this app, you're not paying for the property. You get your tokens, and you don't have to pay for the tokens either. You're given tokens based on interaction. So, like, is that something that is going to compete with people that are paying
It's the,
money for their
yeah.
tokens and their
It,
property, and then
it
they're still going to bridge them, and you're still going to have digital rights even though you didn't pay money for it?
Right. Well, it just depends because it's going to be productivity anyways. It's going to be depending upon what we produce as people that's going to give anything its value. So if they're just giving away property to everyone and everyone just goes and gets land, I mean, maybe they'll want to keep developing on it because then it's going to depend on the game, or the way
Well,
you can interact in the virtual world. I'm just
it's going to
saying to
be like
compare.
a Facebook, Instagram type of thing, but then they're going to be bringing in advertisers who will pay you 30%. So they'll come in when they bring their advertisers in, say there's like a concert going on, and they want to get the local properties around and then advertise because people are visiting your store because
Yeah.
they can tell you already who's visited your place, who's come by your place and checked you out. Like, and based on those numbers, they'll have advertisers come in and then pay you 30%, which I think is very, very
Yeah.
good. I haven't heard
Yeah.
of
So,
rates like that ever.
like to put an ad up when people come by your virtual property. Yeah, I mean, it's a great idea. It just, again, it depends. See, if we have so many virtual worlds, where's it all going to focus? How many people are actually going to, I mean, I think that's a great idea. But then it means that everyone, anytime they want to watch, like, say, a concert, they know it's coming or they're all going to switch over to that world where they got it for free or something like that and then blow it up. While then the other ones are not going to be getting nothing. But then all the kids playing Minecraft, they're not going to come over there at all. It's really going to depend because there's still that aspect of like the economy of what we're creating and if we start giving money out for free to just everybody, which, I still don't think that, I mean, I think it's a great idea, but eventually it's just going to skyrocket prices. And if we don't get back into productivity and actual food making,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So
And people don't value sometimes what they don't pay for. And
it
we've seen it.
depends. Yeah, because this world might cause the realization of that, where we might get more like Ready Player One, and we're all, I don't know if you've seen that one. They're all living in, nobody cares about the world anymore. They're all in trailers stacked on top of each other, and they're all inside in their virtual. They're running in place. They got the track that runs 360, and they're going all around.
No.
And then the mom's, arguing and slapping the boyfriend because she made him. He asked her with dinner, and she was shooting the thing, and then she got killed because he interrupted her or whatever. And then they just lost like $200 that they spent to challenge the thing. It's called Ready Player One. It came out maybe 5 years ago or so, but that one explains it all about Free Guy was was a neat way. Free Guy was more realistic with the glasses, sort of, and the whole when they brought out NPCs. But Ready Player One shows you the whole world that we're going to be walking into. Like the Omniverse already did it. They did it in Ready Player One. So
okay,
yeah, that's
I'm gonna have
cool
to watch that.
You guys
I'm gonna have to check that out.
It's a good one too. It's like heartwarming.
I'm trying to look it up now to see if it's on like Netflix or Prime.
Yeah, it should be one of those Hulu or Netflix.
Yeah, one of those. All right, cool. Sarah, you were going to say something earlier. Sorry about that. I heard you trying, and I think I drowned you out there. Sorry.
Oh no, it was just, people they have I've seen ads or advertisements where you can buy stars, you can buy property. What is it in Scotland? So I meant, why not? But it's just a matter of like, it's two different platforms in a sense. The platform you're talking about, you're getting coins for it, which is fabulous. But the next platform would make you buy it. So I think at some point they're going to bridge between the two. But it'd be nice if it gives people, an option.
Or how about
and
even
it's really
the people?
I think it's going to be just really however the creator designs it.
Yeah.
And you're going to benefit however they see fit, and it's going to be your choice whether you want to participate on Instagram or Facebook or
Right.
whatever platform. So that's what you're going to benefit from being in that world or in that
Yeah.
level or that dimension.
And if you like have a property and you don't do anything with it, nobody's going to want to come by. And so
Right.
you're not going to make anything on it. Like, oh, I bought a property in virtual world. Let's let it rake in. No, you actually have to cultivate it like a real,
Like
because that
Farmville.
costs transactions. Like on the
Yeah.
network, you build a tree or you chop down a tree, that's digital energy, which we can monetize now, and so you'll get paid off the network because you own it. So yeah,
It's
you're
really
gonna
like,
have to
what is it,
maintain.
Roblox? Didn't they have a game called Roblox? And that's
Roblox.
basically what you're doing.
Yeah, you
You're
don't.
building on it.
Even I played when I got my first NFT. I bought some land in a mobile game, and in order to gain anything on it, you had to farm, like get the stone, get the wood, get the wheat and whatever. But if I didn't and I stopped, I mean, nothing would happen. And then if I had people that were doing it, anyone could theoretically do it as long as it was on that square block and someone was using it. So eventually owning them with the right games where people will just come, you don't even have to create like, your little person or whatever. You just buy the land, let everybody else create on it around you, but you own the title. So there's going to be different ways. We're going to be able to own it, but then also offer, yeah, I mean,
It's pretty incredible when
it
you
just
think
keeps
about it.
going. It's
It
going to
is.
be everything. Yeah.
It's mind bending, but it's like how many
17.
movies have you seen where you see the futuristic stuff and people walk in and they have the customized ads for you? It's, like, you're walking through this world where there's holograms and there's ads everywhere. And like some of it's kind of it to me, like, all right, some of it's cool, some of it's not cool at all. Some of it's overkill. It's too much because you start to feel like, wow, like they're selling me shit everywhere I go. Am I just a consumer? Well, yes, you are. And and like to me, that's the part where we lose nature, where we lose what reality is, the organic world. But imagine too, an avatar as in the movie type of organic world where everything's luminescent. So if it's luminescent, is the fake, and I'm calling it fake because I'm saying digital world, is there holograms, that luminosity that we're trying to, we want to interact with it because we want it to assist us. Like, all right, I'll give you a great example. If I'm driving somewhere, all right, let's just say no cars even. Let's say I'm walking somewhere and I'm in the jungle, on one of my adventures. And as I'm going through the jungle, like I get lost. And let's just say, for whatever reason, not tapped into my super consciousness. So I sit and I meditate, I take a couple deep breaths, and then I can see multidimensionally and I can see quantum. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's the way I came, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like that seems more natural and realistic, but like you want to go visit the city, but you don't want to live there. But there's so many people that want to live there.
Right.
So
Right.
we have this whole collective of experience where people are going to be like, "Oh, that's bad. No, no, no." You have the judgment, you have the criticism, you have the people that want to own everything, you still have the greed. We still have all the same problems that we have down here on earth, funny enough. And now they just want to take that into a 3D printer and make it digital so they can make more money off of people. So like to me it's like a machine that's never going to stop. And that's the part of me that's on one side because the other side is like, wow, it's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Well, and you nailed it, because that's okay. So that's how this whole thing's going to backfire. That's how they're not going to win. That's how we got this already in wraps, is because when people start to realize that we have technology like this and that we can create worlds with energy and computers, it's going to get the kids that are going to grow up from now, they're going to say, wait a minute, I can create a world through codes and numbers and technology. Wait a minute, what is it that I can actually do? So even if it takes a step aside out until it wraps back around to like, no, you can do this, where does this come from? So I I worry about the transhumanism too, because I think especially initially that's what a lot of, that's going to just shoot off. But I think eventually even that's going to have to come back around, even in that world. And we're going to say, well, if we are these creators and we're able to create these worlds like it, I think that's part of the
I think you're
awakening
right.
or
Either,
something.
yeah, you're either going to get that instant thought creation
Like,
where you can manifest, or you're not.
right, right.
So if we're in a multi-dimensional world, we're creating in the quantum. I think Apple, I see Apple. Now, can I manifest that physically? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now, if I can't manifest it physically, quantumly, you can see what I'm manifesting, an apple right here, because I'm thinking of an apple. I'm telling you there's an apple. You could put your quantum eyes on and see what I'm imagining. That's the gifts that we have spiritually. But in a digital world, that
Right.
they're trying to manifest that multidimensionality first. So they want to have the augmented reality where you're seeing the hologram of the apple.
Right.
But that's not where we're going. So
And that's,
how does that come back around?
As parents, we got to remind them, like, you came out of this, not out of the computer screen. That's what it comes down to. We're going to have to really do it.
That's right. We can
it's
do
not
it.
that complicated, but
Damn straight.
I brought you in. I'll take you out. Talk
Did
about
you-
computers.
Did you ever think when you were awakening, when you first started awakening and connecting with your spiritual self and your quantum self, like, did you ever think that it was going to go like this with the digital world? Running side stream, like, what the hell? Like, I thought we would just kind of wake up when the holographic world would be there, like not the organic one. I kind of thought the digital one would just overlay, and that we would already be quantum before the digital would catch up to it, which we are, but we're just not seeing it in physical. Like,
right. We are already.
Like kids can see us, children can see us. We're still like the blind leading the blind, even though we see in our inner screen, we haven't pulled it from the inside out yet. And that's what they're doing with the digital. So I don't know. It's just so,
well, and I think that's
so
what
much.
a lot of it has to do. I think just because we've been so oppressed and suppressed, I think it's natural that we create it from the inside and then we manifest it through, and that's when we get the technology. I truly think, like, if we weren't held back, we would already realize how we can create worlds in our multidimensional, because we'd be able to interact with these things in a free and more organic way. So I think we are already these people, advanced civilizations, this and that. The technology is a part of that. If a being has the technology to create his own body, organically, well, it's still energy codes, sequences that we would, I think, have been able to maybe learn a lot faster. So that's why I'm saying I hope with all of this, it's really going to come back around, and, good minds and the new kids coming with all their, they're going to put all this together in the right way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
hope
they
you're
will.
right.
That's what they're coming for. Yeah. So,
I
but
hope
we
you're
got to
right,
tell them to go outside again. That's all.
and I see that, like, up the ladder and over the top, like that's up, up, up over here. So like, as we're using technology, we're climbing up the ladder, and if technology can assist us, let's say for healing, let's take it a step to the med beds, right? Let's go above that to the med wands, the wands that are just like the med beds now. So, okay, that's a step up. Well, what about beams? Just beams of light, like think of Star Trek, and how they have beams of light, it heals the body. Okay, well, we can do that ourselves. So like above that, it's thought creation, it's mastership of all of that. Your thought's going to create that healing, right down your
and the
body, an instant.
frequencies. Yeah.
Right. So
Once
it's
we,
beyond technology, though. It's not,
right.
it doesn't incorporate it as transhuman to do it, but it's like,
right.
Can they not see that,
Right. That's what I mean. I think if we didn't have the restriction in the technology, we would say, oh, that code that created a virtual world has this frequency. Let me do that with my body, and then I'm going to go into that world. We would be able to, like, connect the things that make normal sense. Like, how long is it taken for red is a low vibration, violet is a high vibration? I mean, like, this is like just really kind of like big time coming out within the past decade or whatever, how long you want to think about it. But like mainstream, I mean, it's still barely. So if we didn't have all these things in the way, and distractions, I think the technology might help. I hope, but they're going to try to gear it in a way. So we just got to oppose it, I guess, keep the balance, right?
It's so confusing with that though, because we don't want to hold
Yeah.
it back, but like what they might want to control it, yes. And they want to control us is more like it, not the
Yeah.
technology. They want to control us using technology. That's the problem. If they would
Right.
just stop that need for control over others, but they really see us as a sub race.
Yeah. And
So
that's why, well, doing what you need to do and getting off. That's it.
yeah,
That's how we
yeah.
stay off of what they want us to keep looking at and keep doing. And no, I just came on to farm my stuff so me and my family can get some real money in the real world. Sorry, bye, I'm out. That's it. And then leave. Don't.
I like that. I was telling Sarah early on, I was telling her that I went back and rewatched our conversation from last week. It was a really good conversation, but it sparked a lot and it
Nice.
sparked a lot in me because I thought I had a pretty basic idea, but once you start doing more research and you learn more, it just brings some things together, but it can be very confusing. And I think with all the talk about the metaverse and the digital worlds, I think it really is important to just have that reminder that you don't have to be a super soldier. You don't have to have anything injected into you. You don't have to get a chip or any whatever else. If you have a chance to put on a pair of glasses and you want to see the world, it's just like picking up a phone, you know?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. And nothing to be afraid of about that. Like cryptocurrency, everybody was so afraid of that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's coming. It's here. It's already in use. People are already putting their value into that. Companies are already doing it, like we talked about last week, a lot of that. So I won't repeat all that, like the Staples Center and all. Yeah. Lost my train of thought on that one. It's been a very digital week. Just trying to like catch up, realizing I haven't been on this platform like Instagram in a long time, or just catching it like a month on Facebook or just popping on for this or that or Messenger. But there's a lot of
Control.
content.
You were
Oh, I was
talking
gonna
about
say,
control, or was it, how they might want to gear it towards one way, but people are coming into it. I think
yeah,
that's the whole, the narratives is what they're going to try to run. Again,
yeah,
it's constantly listening to like the negative side versus I'm going to go over here and find people who want to create like I do, and we just leave them behind. So I think that opportunity is still here. What about the metaverse that is like you were saying your thing where it just free, it's giving people everything and it's free. And if it was given out for free, a whole world, you could have a whole new world of inhabitants who now spending that time developing their land and
that's
helping
it.
each other's land, and
That's
now
it.
like a community that we love to be a part of, and we're going to help each other. No, hey, you got to go on vacation, like vacation from the virtual, you mean like to your real world, you're not going to be on for a while, don't worry, I'll mow the grass. And then when you're on, you mow each other's grass, so now you're still making your income on your virtual world. So this could be very beneficial also in a way, but like I say, with economy and production. But the thing is with the virtual world, it's going to be unlimited because we can make anything in the virtual world over and over and over and over again. So we're going to have things to buy, and hey, people are going to buy it if they like it. If not, it's not really going to matter, but somebody will. So I'm sitting there mowing my lawn, and they're paying me for whatever thing they want to buy, but comes to me, it's. I think it'll
Right.
work out.
And
Yeah.
if you have your store, whatever you have, if you have that link to something that you already have in the physical, that's great because people go there and they might want to click on your website. Now, as
Yep.
far as developing in this app that I was talking about, I don't think it's like that. I think it's more of a social media thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then so how they're going to bridge that to where they're going to want advertisers to come in, because why would advertisers want to come into a Facebook or like an Instagram, say, why would they want to come into that if it's just
Mhm.
getting started, it's just another social media app? Like it has to have something different. So
Yeah, and if you own it and then you're just kind of choosing to let ads run constantly or whatever they feel like just because you want, that's not exactly representing the world that you want to create. So I think that's going to cause the rift too, because a lot of what people want to create is going to be that entertainment. And so those are going to be the ones that make a lot of the money because, so but that's what's coming, is you're going to have that option on
yeah,
a bifurcation or not, but there's going to be worlds that are going to be split apart. So
Let me ask you though, Michael, do you have any, it felt weird calling you Mike.
that's
Just
okay.
slipped out.
That's okay.
I don't think I've ever called you Mike. Um,
Yeah.
what do you think, like if somebody was going to say, all right, how much money do I need to buy something on, say, what was the game with the land, something land,
The one
Digiland?
the one that I got, it was like I got it for 0.15 ETH, I think, back
Oh,
a
if
long
you're
time
paying,
ago.
oh, okay.
Like, so it was maybe $200 or something like that, I think, at the time. So, I mean, yeah,
But
if you
now,
really want something like you want a land property asset, I mean, yeah, I'd say $1,000 at least. I mean, depending on
yeah,
it.
because real estate's exploding right now over there, so it's definitely
Yeah.
a hot commodity.
And it just make and you, but there's going to be a lot of metaverses, so there's going to be a lot of opportunities to buy land.
Yeah,
It's going to matter what are interoperable, because then those are going to be the ones where that one piece of land works in all these worlds, like I was saying. So I don't know. You'd have to find the right network. Definitely Ethereum, but I
yeah,
mean, we could have Facebook verse, we could have YouTube verse, we could have the cross between it, and then how much is owning? Do you own two of them or do you own one? We have to see how it's all, because if everybody just starts making, it might just get too crazy, But I think the only way
yeah,
for people to even partake is by offering them tokens for free just to get started. I mean,
yeah.
because nobody's going to have 100 worlds
Well,
worth of money to buy an individual.
well, next week, even if our conversation like goes elsewhere, we don't usually always have the same conversation week to week. But I wanted to go back into this a little bit further, just because that's where I've been all week,
Yeah.
and not all week, but enough.
It's a big
Um,
topic. Yeah.
but yeah, this app that I'm going to talk about next week will do just that. So it'll be tokens, and then you guys can decide for yourself if you want to
Yeah.
do that. And
Sounds
maybe
great.
maybe there's something like if you refer people, you get something. So maybe that's why the developer was telling me to wait till next week. So maybe it'll be something where I can provide you guys a link, and then maybe you'll get an extra token if you use my link, and I'll get a token if you use my
Yeah,
link. I mean,
yeah,
who
I'll
knows?
check it out. And
But
yeah,
I
that's good.
feel like this. I feel like Betty Riley just said, I'm so outdated. So she says, I'm so outdated. Betty, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
This is
I am
really
too.
just it's
I am
really just
too.
this real estate boom just happened, what, in the last month or two, couple months? I mean, they've been talking about it for a little while, but it really started in, I think, the fall, when some major companies started making some major moves, or at least talking about it. And now all of a sudden it's like that's all everybody's talking about. So like for the last how many years now? At least 5, 6 years, maybe. They around December, around this time of year, cryptocurrency just goes skyrockets. And every year it seems to be the same thing. People get in this fear of missing out mode. So if you want to get cautioned into anything, is don't feel like you need to run out and buy real estate or you're going to miss it. Don't do that to
Yeah,
yourself right now, especially not this month. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Hold on, because in January or February or whatever, prices will probably dip back down. There's always like an up and then a dip and then up. Always buy the dip,
yeah.
always. And December is notoriously high. So don't worry about that. What are you FaceTiming? What was that? Messenger. Someone's calling someone there. Anyway, so Sarah, you're from the gaming part. Is there a particular game that you play? Are they selling like real estate or giving you the opportunity to buy on the blockchain with that?
Actually, I'm not really into the gaming I mean, I've always enjoyed games, so I recognize a good game when I see one, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you can kind of, I've got that idea of what my kids would play.
Yeah.
And I've got kids who like Roblox. They like the Animal Land. So I'm a just dance kind of girl.
Yeah.
But
No, I got you.
no, so I've made some smart investments and I've gone in that direction. I think everything is good in moderation, so as long as you're not abusing it. So, but I know that,
Yeah, yeah.
games,
It's
if you can get on there and play it and get paid, why not?
Yeah, right.
yeah, and it's
I
it's
think it's
it's income. It's going to change though. So it's not get rich quick.
no,
That's
Right.
fear of missing out. That's not, set yourself up for the real world that we're moving into and get, things going like that.
Get it going.
But hey, I
Well,
don't know if you want to buy some Doge or whatever it was, and go for it. And maybe Elon will pick, what's the new one, Shiba or Inu, or, so, I mean, hey, it can happen, it definitely can. So if you feel some strong pull to, get something and you research the project and, I mean, best of luck. It can happen, right? But
read the
that's
white
not
papers.
what we should be
right
shooting for.
read
knowledge is power in this situation.
Yes.
So it's definitely, look into each of those coins and see, just like what Michael says, people that you feel worthy to invest in.
Yeah.
Like they got baby Doge out there now, and it's 0.00000000000.
Get it cheap.
Baby
Get it
Doge.
priced cheap.
If they have Doge and they put Elon and they put Vitalik, who's the creator of Ethereum, on the team for Doge, they got big plans for Doge. So if they made a baby Doge,
wow,
I wonder why. That's all
that's
I'm saying.
good to
We
know.
don't know. We might not know. Doge was a meme coin. It had 0 use cases
You're right.
at all.
Right.
At all. But it was so stinking popular with the community that it stayed the whole way, and it made
then
it all
just
the way this far.
a couple little tweets. It can send it through the roof to the moon, and it can also drop it down. So it's people's words have a lot more influence than, are you doing your thing tonight, Michael? Are you doing your
Yeah.
Are you? All right, I'm going to put some banners up right now. So Betty, somebody like Betty was saying she doesn't know much. Well, Michael can be hired for consultations for cryptos, but he also gives a wealth of information away on his channel. Specifically after this channel on Sunday nights, he does a spiritual crypto show. Yeah. And he goes through the news and he gives you lots and lots and lots of helpful tips and hints and just all kinds of stuff that, if you don't have the money for that or something, then go watch his show and ask questions because he'll answer live. And he's got a wealth of information. That's why I'm really glad you showed up tonight, Michael. And I know you've been really working hard and trying to
fighting a cold.
Trying to just keep yourself healthy and everything. So thank you for making it here tonight. And thank you for all you do.
I'm glad I figured out the whatever.
I'm glad you got on too. And then as far as the spiritual stuff, if you guys don't mind, I think next week I would really much like to do some more like quantum work like we do, and some serious meditation next week, because I think we'll be ready for that. But this spiritual universal laws, the 12 laws of the 12 universal laws, Sherry and I have been covering them over on Sherry's channel Monday night at 9:00 Eastern time, 6:00 Pacific time. And we will be on, I think it's the 4th one, Law of Action, I believe. I believe that's right. But I feel like we said that last week.
They're all important. I forgot the order of them.
Oh, it could be the next one. It might be the 5th one. All right, I'll have to check with her. But anyway, tomorrow night on Sherry's channel, it's just Sherry Bausch right there, as you see. And come join us for that. And also, Sherry and I have a course that we developed, and it's a pretty intense course, actually, which I'm coming to find out. A lot of people are taking this information like a little slower than they thought they would. There's a lot of lessons involved. It's very, very dense with material. And if you want to take your healing practice to the next level, this is how to actually use your consciousness on the grids for healing, not just yourself and other people, but also working with the collective. And we really dive deep into it. So this is level 1, and it is a certification course. And your soul will thank you. So it'll start on January 4th, but if you sign up now, you might get early access to the modules. But the 3 weeks, it's a 6-week course, and every other week we come on to do live classes. So we'd love to see you guys over there for that. And anything else you guys want to add to this before we sign off? No. All right, then I'll just say thank you for being here again. I love you guys. And just be a little bit better today than you were yesterday, and we will catch you next time.